Well, the term gospel, I think, is one that many people have heard but might not understand. Gospel literally means good news. This is the message of the Bible. The gospel is good news to be proclaimed to all creation, but it's only going to sound like good news and be received as good news if we understand the bad news that we're living. Many people hear the gospel, it doesn't sound like good news because they don't understand the bad news that our lives are apart from Jesus. The bad news is this: you and I are guilty rebels before God. Even if you grew up not knowing the revealed will and law of God, every single person on earth is guilty of willingly defying what we know to be right and true. Every religion on earth acknowledges this and gives a list of things that we need to do to tip the scale this way. So do this, don't do this, pray in this direction, all sorts of things that they tell us to do to tip the scale down. The problem is everything on the other side. And a good and just God can't just brush the stuff on this side of the scale away. To use an analogy, if somebody was doing 100 through a school zone and smashed into a little child, and they were brought before a judge, and the judge looked at them and said, well, you've done a lot of good things. I'm going to let this one bad thing go. We would not say that judge is a good or a just judge. This is the problem. A good God can't just brush the stuff, the bad things that we've done that are on the other side of the scale. But Christianity provides a unique solution to this dilemma. This is where the good news is. Jesus came down, he stood on that scale, he lived the life we couldn't, he stood in our place, and then he took the consequences we deserved for our actions and gifted us the reward that was rightfully his. This is the good news of Jesus. He offers to take the consequences we deserve and in exchange to give us a new type of life. But in order to receive it, we need to do something. We need to get off the scale. We need to let Jesus stand in. And the Bible uses some very unique language to describe this, and it calls people to do this over and over. Repent and believe. Repent means to change your mind, to turn, and we do this by getting off the scale, changing our minds about what will make us acceptable before God and righteous. It calls us to quit trying to earn our own righteousness through something we do or don't do. Quit thinking we're better than others because of things we do or don't do, and instead of acknowledge and recognize the only hope we have is Jesus standing on the scale for us. And so instead of trusting our own actions, we repent, we turn and trust that Jesus is the one way that we can be made righteous before God. Apart from Jesus, we are all living bad news stories. We're living out tragedies, but the good news is that Jesus came to make a way for us to be right with God. He came to become the turning point in our tragic stories and offer us new life. If you want to hear more about this, reach out. We'd love to grab a coffee, connect you with some resources to help further explain what this means and what it looks like to be a disciple of Jesus. If you're new to faith, be sure to come to the Connect Desk on a Sunday. We have a gift for you as you begin your discipleship journey to Jesus. If you want more information, check out praxischurch.ca.